Boom! Episode 39. Welcome, everybody, to the Get Geeked Podcast. We are back, and we are 1 week away from Star Wars, and we also 1 week away from Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody! Before we even get started with anything, a little bit of an announcement. If you guys want, in the Christmas spirit, I am going to do a weird giveaway. I am going to get a $20 Amazon gift card. Next week's episode, somewhere within that episode, I am going to scratch off the number. And then I'm just going to show it on this screen. First person to see it, first person to get it down, first person to use it, it is yours. That is our gift to you guys. So for anyone who's watching, or anyone who's still watching, get ready for that. That is our gift to you within the Christmas spirit. So look forward to that. Yeah.
And feel free to, and then buy toys for someone who did or something. I'm just putting that out there.
Or just buy whatever you want. It's yours.
I mean, either or. The angel and the devil on your shoulder. You pick. It's your choice.
I mean, it's gonna be
both okay.
It's gonna be off of Amazon because that's the only thing I could think of that's gonna be fair. I mean, I was thinking of like doing video games, but I'm like, oh well, there's Xbox, there's PlayStation. I don't really feel like going out and buying both. And then I was thinking like, oh, a gift card, but then like, people, I don't know, it's weird, but whatever. Amazon just works the best. They have everything that anybody would want, and you get some for $20. Who knows? Okay, with that though, we just finished. Well, it's not even finished yet because it goes on until 9 p.m. tonight. But I'm not gonna So the December community day for Pokemon Go was this whole weekend. It was Saturday and Sunday. I don't know, like, I felt like it wasn't boosted like a regular community day, though. Although I did get more today than I did yesterday. I only got one yesterday. I think I got up to 5 today. I don't know.
I'll say this at least, though. It depends on how you're looking at it, but we definitely got more quantity than quality. But I'll tell you something. It's the first time in a long time I haven't seen a lot of people complaining that they searched and picked the same Pokemon over and over and over again and never found one or maybe even just two. I'd say a decent amount of people out there, maybe about, if they were lucky, 2 to 3, maybe even 4, maybe not what they wanted, but it was still enough to make quite a few people not feel so, segregated in this community day, I'd say it's kind of like it's handing out a little bit to everybody. So,
although
because you never know what you're gonna get.
Because I had to work yesterday, I felt kind of like, I don't know. I felt like I didn't get the most out of it because I felt, for some weird reason, I felt like there were, because okay, I missed Slack Off Community Day because of work. And so that was one of the main ones that I wanted. Also, Chimchar. I got Chimchar today, though, because they were spawning everywhere. And I believe the place that I went to ended up being a Chimchar nest. So that was a plus because I got 3 of them. So I'm good with that. But I saw more slack offs yesterday, but wasn't able to do much because of work. But today I saw maybe 3 the whole day. I don't know. So like I felt kind of gypped out of that. I was hoping like the spawns were gonna be the same on both days, but it felt like there was. It might have been the location I was at, like where I worked at. Slack Off spawns more there, and then where I went today, Chimchar was the nest. So I don't know, man. Either way, though, I'm kind of happy, and I know that you have this one Slack Off for trade. So
Yes, I
I
do.
have what you need. You have what I want. So we're gonna get that trade
Well,
done sometime.
also, after this, it's cool because the apartment complex that I live at actually has like 1 to 2 um, Pokestops just within the area, and it's been pretty damn cold over here, so that may help with it. But I've seen a lot of people out here putting out like ice lures, and it's been helping me because I really, really want. It's gonna not sound like I really want it, but because I kind of forgot what the name of it was, but it's that little the grass one with like the green head and the white body that turns into like the lady with the dress.
Oh yeah.
I want a shiny version of that, and it only comes out with the ice lures, and I've maybe
Well,
found like
I know
10 yesterday searching
the thing
and
that it evolves
none.
to is Gallade, or it could
Mhm.
it could evolve into two different things, Gallade and
Yeah,
I forget the name of the other one, but yeah.
I'm gonna try to mega evolve that one, or
Well, I
whatever it's called.
I have a few of those, so like I said, I have what you
What,
want.
shiny?
Yeah, I have what you need,
Oh hell yeah! All
and
right,
you
let's do
have
this.
what I want.
And it's a good thing that we're max friends finally, because that took forever, and that was my bad. Just saying.
Too bad you still don't open my gifts constantly, because then we might have been lucky friends, and then the trade could have been lucky. But I digress. But yeah, so hopefully we'll get that trade
It's
done
not my fault.
soon.
It's not my fault. Every single day, I end up being max itemed, and it's like, what do I get rid of? And then I try to use them all, but then when I go to the Pokestops, I'm like, I'm not gonna hit this Pokestop. I'm not gonna not hit this Pokestop, and then I'm max item again.
Dude,
It's frustrating,
I deal
man.
with that every day, dude. I just clear stuff out.
What do you clear though?
The banana berries, no one ever uses that.
Oh, see, that's like I have none of those. All I have are like the raspberries, the pineapples, and the golden. So it's like it's all stuff that I use, and it's
uh
like
Potions if you don't battle a lot. So I don't know if you battle a lot or
I
not.
battle a lot. That's like my bread and butter, man. So see, this is why I'm at that crossroads.
Maybe just buy a bigger bag space.
That costs money, dude.
$5, bro. Shell it out.
$5 to a company that I've already spent enough on, and I really feel weird if I gave them another dime.
It don't
It's
matter.
getting to that point. But yeah, it's whatever. Honestly, I'm just if I need to, I just throw away. I know it's sacrilegious, but I do throw away Pokeballs sometimes if I'm ranging around the 100, 150 range. I just start
Oh,
throwing some.
I toss away Pokeballs and Great Balls all the time, dude. Once I get over 100, whatever's left, I just get rid of those. I keep it at 100 and 100 because I like.
It's weird to think. Yeah, it's weird to think that early on in the game we were just like, crap, man, we have no Pokeballs. Can you send me a gift? And you go through like 3 gifts to get at least like 5, 6 Pokeballs.
Like
Damn, but now we're balling.
the only time
Get it? Balling
the only time
Pokeballs?
I hoard balls is when there's an event and I know I'm gonna do a hardcore grind sesh.
Ooh.
Then I'll hoard them.
Speaking of some of those new raid Pokemon for the event, and also, I don't know, what would you call them? Oh, elemental horses? Dog horses? What are they?
What do you mean the 5-star raids?
Yeah, like what would you call those?
Oh, they're the Swords of Justice or something like that. I don't know.
But like they're an animal or something. What kind? It's like a dog horse
Yeah,
looking thing.
we don't know. They're legendaries.
Deer,
They're a mixture of
a
things.
deer dog, deer dog,
Sure. I don't know.
a deer dog.
One looks like a
Face.
bull. One looks like a bull. The other one looks like a deer, and then the other one's like a deer something. I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I've seen this.
Only one of them's useful.
Yeah, but I've seen their. I think so. I think I saw someone that were like shiny. They look pretty nice.
Well, that doesn't matter because we're probably not going to see those for like another
Never.
year.
Yeah,
They do
but
they do a year span. Like they'll release the legendary, and then a year later they'll release the shiny version of the legendary. So
Ooh, speaking of something that you really want, one of my friends on a Facebook forum that I have, I think it's a Discord, they got a purified shiny Sneasel, and damn, it looks nice.
yeah, I've been trying, bro.
I know.
Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of a technical difficulty. We're back though.
I mean, yeah, but so either way, I'm just glad that Niantic's finally thinking about actually giving to the people who weren't able to go out for other community days and get a chance to get something. I mean, sorry for you guys if you still had to work the day that you could get Pokemon that you couldn't get out the other community days for, but at least it gave a couple people a chance. I'm glad because there were some Pokemon I really needed for my collection, and it's one of the days that kind of motivated me to go and do community day today, because I doubt this is going to happen for a while, and 2 days is not bad, to get a Pokemon. And even if you already have a shiny of a certain Pokemon, you can just not click on it, so it already knocks off that percentage of whether or not it's going to be shiny or not. But it's just cool that they're doing that. Maybe they'll start doing it with legendaries, but we got to see.
Well, this probably is a yearly thing. It's the Christmas community day event. Not Christmas, but December, because they did it last year. And then they did it again this year.
So, like holiday.
I'm wondering if there's gonna change, because once it gets to like 4 years in, dude, that's gonna be a lot of community days. So like, I don't know if they're gonna make it longer or shorter.
They might just start doing it by gen,
I hope not, or I don't know. I know they split it. I know they split it this year by putting like the first year's Pokemon in raids, and then the ones that had their community days as spawns. But I don't know. I mean, it was cool. I just felt like I missed out on the first day though. But it was legit today. I got a good amount, and I only went out for like 2 hours. So, and the thing is, it's from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. But the boosted spawns are from 11 to 2. So I had to time it out. Like, well,
yeah.
Also, before we get any further, too, I just want to give a shout out to Sparrows. I was just watching him in a blackout tournament before we started this. I know they were shooting for third place to get into the second round. So good luck to those guys. It's Sparrows and Gangsta. Gangsta is just like a legit, like, he's crazy in the lobbies. He's crazy in blackout. Like, that dude is nutty. And Sparrows is the guy I watch stream every day. So just want to give a quick shout out and good luck to those guys. Well, I'll probably find out where they're gonna be at after we're done doing this. And then lately too, dude, it's been weird because for those of you who don't know, I had to change up my diet, and it's not like something like, oh, I'm just gonna try this out. It's something like basically life changing. I have to basically stay alive. But I do crave like junk food, and the only way to curb that is I've been diving into this deep hole of watching this guy called the bearded, or it's beard versus food. He's a UK dude, and back in the days I used to watch Megatoad, but I don't watch him. Well, he rarely ever puts up videos anymore. But Beard versus Food puts out videos like 3 or 4 times a week. So I've been watching him, and he basically, like, he's not really a professional eater. He does do competitions once in a while, but most of the time he just does like videos of him just eating food, just like seeing how fast he can eat it or whatever. But I don't know.
Sometimes it's just for fun. I've watched them. Sometimes it's just to see if he can. It's not like some kind of challenge.
And I bring this up as a segue to what Alex wants to talk about
Beards.
for our first
So,
topic. Yes, beards. Let's talk about beards. I can't grow one. All I can grow is this chin hair.
and I used to be only able to grow this part, and then a patch down that nothing grew in. So now I am scared crapless to shave anything off because I'm afraid it's never going to come back. So, talking about food, actually, not beards. So it's kind of crazy living up here in Washington. We used to solely have our like state fruit was apples, and we are known for growing so many apples, and it's kind of declined in a while. But it used to be our main state source. But just recently, there is this new scientific marvel that came out of, I believe, Washington University, or one of the, they're all accredited and held to a really high standard out here. So if I talk crap on any, people will be really mad. But it came out of one of the colleges, and it was scientifically modified for Washington only. It is the craziest apple I've ever tried, and I like to cook. I love eating new fruits and trying new things. This is the weirdest and strangest thing. So sadly, if you are not around the Washington area, it's going to be kind of hard to get these apples because for the first 10 years of its natural existence from when it was created to 10 years later can only be grown in Washington state. So we are the only ones who are able to grow it because since it was modified and grown by our students at the colleges, it is kind of our savior for bringing the apple economy back to Washington because it's the craziest thing. This apple is called the Cosmic Crisp apple. It took 22 years to be created, and splicing apples and creating the most perfect synergy of these two weird combinations together. If you know a lot about fruits and foods and stuff like that, you know, apples are mainly the tart ones that are used for baking or, you know, all that other crumble crap. And then you have the super sweet ones for just eating and, you know, like preserves and stuff like that.
I like eating the tart ones, yo.
Yeah, there are some people who really like the tart sourness.
I hate the sweet ones, man. Get those out of my face.
So, yeah. So the weird thing about these apples, and it might, you know, farewell to your type of apple eating too, which it kind of brings everybody together, is it's called a Cosmic Crisp because it's from a Honey Crisp apple, I believe, and a weird mixture of a tart apple called the Enterprise, which is, I wish I had a chance to try on its own, but this is a creation from them themselves. Creates this Cosmic Crisp apple, which is the strangest thing because it's a red and yellowish apple with swirls that look like the galaxies and white specks that look like stars. And eating it is a mixture of sweet and sour at the same time. You can take a bite and it'll be super sweet, and then you'll take another bite and it'll be kind of tart and sour. It blows my mind. And I've eaten way too many than I probably should have within the small span of it being created and being brought out to the Washington market. Speaking of, I have some in my fridge right now, and it is the craziest looking thing. I do have some pictures of it on, actually, it's on a group on Facebook, so I don't think any of you can see it. But if you want to look it up, you can see what I'm talking about. It's crazy. But if any of you are within, let's say, a decent decent amount of length between Washington and where you are, you might have a chance to try it or have somebody ship it to you. I don't know if that condemns kind of some kind of law or whatever, but yeah, if you get a chance to try it, try it. It's amazing. I've already spoken to many people, and these are food people who have been cooking food for years, people who have lived in, you know, New York, so they're constantly trying different authentic, real, from the ground foods, and they are having their minds blown by these apples. Honestly, it's the weirdest thing, and it's something I have never tried in my entire life. I could probably even see if I could get Molly or Dina with all to bring some with them to have you guys try. It's crazy, and a lot of people are saying it's really expensive. Well, it is true if you don't live around where they're growing, which we are. It'll be up there for about like $3.50 to $4 a pound. It's that crazy. But the stores we have around here are actually about normal apple prices, which is about $1.99 a pound. So we get quite a decent chance to try them. But just earlier, we went to the store and I have a new pack of Cosmic Crisp apple cider, and I really want to try it. It kind of sucks because within that next 10 years, not many other people are going to get to try it unless they come to the Washington market. So I get that it is trying to help our economy with, our apple sales and farmers and all those fields that we don't really have much to grow on. Although I understand it, I really wish other people would get to try it too. Like, give it to some other people to grow. Understand either way. I'm excited about these. I don't know how you guys feel about fruits, but I'm excited about it. You may not get to try it, but if you are ever near Washington or Oregon and you can try it, I say try it. It is amazing. And honestly, a scientific it's a scientific marvel. It took 22 years to genetically modify and splice seeds together to create this apple.
And if it's that like crazy, it could also just be like the reason why it's only able to be grown there is maybe like the temperature and the type of ground they have up there, because like earth, sand, and dirt and stuff is different in every region. So.
Which is why I'm trying to take my chances to get it and to have as many people try it, because honestly, this could be one of those fruits that had a spectacular grow year, and then all of a sudden it just fades into existence and fades off into like just being nothing, and nobody remembers it. I would like to say that I was one of the few that were like taking the chance to try this fruit when it actually was able to be tasted. Also, just the look of it. I have never seen an apple like that in my life. It really 100% looks like a galaxy spinning around the apple with stars, and it is insane. I don't know if you're going to be able to put a picture up or whatever, but if you guys get a chance, just open up Google and check it out real quick. But on that, how do you feel about genetically modified food, whether or not for monetary gain or for longevity of life of the fruit?
I really have no say on it. It's an apple,
really?
Bro.
But this is where it's going into, now that you have to eat a healthy lifestyle, doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
sometimes
I'll eat an apple.
But the point is, sometimes it does leach out like the natural nutrients of it. So within like the next 10, 20 years, who knows if we'll be able to get any nutrients from any of the fruits that we grow anymore.
Genetically modified or not genetically modified, as long as it's good for you, it's good for you. The only thing that's hurtful is if they actually use like chemicals, kind of like how like people like there's a big argument too between like no meat products and meat products, because like no meat. The people who are for the no meat product stuff are like, oh, it's healthier for you, but then but they don't realize like the plants that are being built to make these products that are no meat actually put out more pollution than places that farm meat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
it's kind of like the argument of the electric car,
Yeah, well, same thing too. Like people say electric cars are better because they don't put out pollution, but the factories that make the electric cars do put out pollution. So like it's a lose-lose and a win-win because one way you win, one way you lose. I mean so, but I mean if it's I'm pretty sure they're not gonna put something out and that because the FDA has to approve it somehow. Unless it's like local farms and stuff like that or whatnot, but there's ways of knowing if there's nutrients in it. I mean, really, they're like if it's like fruit, vegetables, and stuff like that, you can't take the nutrients out of it. I don't think.
I mean, I'm pretty sure somehow it's happened, but
what vegetable do you know that's out there, or vegetable or fruit that's out there right now that doesn't have any nutrients?
Celeries.
But I mean, that's been known from get-go. That's been known from its existence.
I know, but that's why we rely on the ones that do have nutrients.
They didn't genetically modify it to where it didn't have nutrients.
Yeah, lettuce, shredded like iceberg lettuce it used to be grown to the point where it had so much green on it that it did have nutrients to, give something to somebody. But nowadays, the iceberg lettuce we get has practically nothing. It's like 99.9% water and plant fiber that really does nothing for you.
Yeah,
but that's really one of the only ones I know.
Water's still good for you.
Oh my god,
it's H2O.
That's like going to China and going, yeah, it's smog, but it's still air.
Well, that's different because you're adding smog to the air. It's not water. Because you could add pollution to water, and then that's
and you
bad.
Can also poop on the lettuce.
And that's bad for you. Well, yeah, you could poop on a lettuce too, and that's adding stuff to it, and then it's bad for you. But
Well, what do you think they grow it out of?
The water. The water itself is good for you. Speaking of China, though,
oh my god,
I'm a segue.
You want to get us banned?
I'm a segue out of this nonsense conversation. But speaking of China, yeah, basically, dude, we're talking about something I don't care about. We even gone further away from the Apple talk. Like we're like on like something that's like doesn't matter.
Well, because it wasn't on here because a lot of people are saying because it's so genetically modified that it's not really being a natural apple, and people shouldn't be so surprised about it. But
it's still
the fact that it is, it's still a really good apple.
And
it's crazy what science can do.
Fruit. It's not like it's not like it's growing ears. There's no ears on these apples, man. Like there's
but it's one of the first. It's one of the first apples to have both the tart and the sour ability at the same time. It's one of the first.
Then that's
ones.
Cool. That's good.
That's my point. It's cool.
Well, yeah. Then where's the argument?
Was because it's still genetically modified, so some people see that as a downside. But it's still a really cool apple.
A fruit?
Yeah.
Who cares, dude? Genetic modify fruits all they want. I don't like, it doesn't bother me. They're not making a bear man pig.
Man bear pig.
Whatever.
He was created in a dream from Dreamland, and he escaped Dreamland.
I mean, if you want to talk about genetically modifying things, then we talk about. Wait, where was it? Is it Korea?
The CRISPR?
Oh no, is it Japan?
I think it was China.
Is it China?
CRISPR, right?
Well, then speaking of China,
oh god.
Well, one of those Asian countries are legitly trying to genetically make a humanized animal, that's freaky. You want to talk about freaky genetic stuff? That's freaky. Like people should be worried about that.
It'll never get to the point, but there was a story recently where a doctor actually went through and genetically modifying the baby inside of a woman to come out as a certain thing, but did not get any agreement from a scientific board about accepting of any kind of like legal matters in this, and just went through with doing scientific engineering and figuring out everything without letting anybody know. Honestly, all I see is bad to come from that.
Well,
man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to get freaked out. You want to freak out about something. Freak out about that. Fruits, dude. Modify fruits all they want. I don't care as long as it tastes good. This apple tastes good, right? So there, it tastes good. We're all good. There's no pig coming out of this apple.
It was just a topic to talk about. That's the whole point of this crap, isn't it? To talk.
Yeah, but you took it.
It doesn't have to be a physical argument. I was just asking what your opinion on a certain type of issue.
I know,
and
but
the issue was because other people had this issue. I might as well get an outsider thing because I know you really didn't give a crap, but you might as well just say something about it.
I am.
Not to fucking jump down my throat about it.
This is what I'm saying, though. This is my opinion on it. Don't get too butthurt about it. Jeez. I mean, you asked me for my opinion. That's my opinion. But then you argued with me on what my opinion was, so I had to give my other argument on that. You get where we're going?
Because talking points open up the floor for conversation, and now it's where conversation comes in. It's not like an open door to go, okay, well, that's the answer, then all right. Yeah, I just wanted to get some opinion.
And I gave you my opinion, but then you argued with me on my opinion. And so I'm arguing on the other argument. And then I tried to switch it over to my next topic, and then you brought it back.
Because you considered it just a fruit and didn't see what the hype was about, and I was just trying to create a conversation and speaking about it. Because if we didn't, there would be no video. That's my point.
I don't know where you're going.
Whatever.
Where are you going?
Talk about China.
Well, my topic wasn't about China. It's about something else.
Okay, talk about Korea or somewhere else with tiny eyes.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay. I don't know.
Can't really say that. Some parts of Eastern Asia do include it, like India, and you get those other parts of like Mongolia, Silk Road to Russia, and then you do get like tiny white guys. But
where are you going with this?
Oh, no, what?
What?
Genetics, man. I'm going into genetics.
There you go. Yeah, genetics, man, bear, pig, all over the place. I don't know, man. But genetics out of the way. I myself wanted to just talk about over the last couple of days they debuted the new Xbox, the X series, or is it Series X? I don't know. Either way, the thing looks pretty tight. It's pretty basically simple, and then the whole thing about it is too what a lot of people are like, kind of like, it's not even outrage. It's more of like, well, it looks like a PC. Why not get a PC? But I just like, to me, I think it looks nice. It looks sleek. It's just simple, and for what they're trying to make it do, because basically they wanted to play at the level of a PC but have it still be a console. It's gonna have to somewhat resemble a PC because they're gonna have to put all those components into it that works as highly as a PC does. So you're gonna need all that room. So it's going to have to sit like a PC. I mean, it's going to have the higher RAM. It's going to have a built-in SSD. It's going to load pictures and graphics in in a snap of a finger. And so like I understand why they built it the way it looks. And then the other part, to counter the whole question of why, if it looks like a PC, why not get a PC? Because some people, the thing about PCs is you have to do it all yourself. Like you have to tinker, you have to code it or buy parts for it to make it run the way that you want it to run. Some people just want to buy something that's built and ready to play games. Like they don't want to do anything else with it, just play games and maybe surf the web a little bit. And then just have it do that. And there lies the whole point of like, that's why I'm buying a console. If it resembles a PC a little bit, who cares really? It resembles a PC, but it's the new Xbox. And if it's at a good price point, like it looks cool, I'm down. I'll buy it. And the whole thing about speaking of China is we have to kind of watch that, because from right now, the U.S. and China don't really have a great relationship. In fact, our relationship is kind of in turmoil, and because of that, we're not even like trading of products. It's at a very high price and stuff like that. So if the Microsoft company is not buying stuff from China and they have to build it here in-house, it's the product itself is going to be very expensive. But from what I hear, the U.S. and China are starting to talk. They haven't came to an agreement yet, but if they do keep on talking and they do come into agreement before the Xbox goes out on sale, then the price point may come lower when it's released, because then they could get the parts and everything like that from China like they usually do. And if you guys don't already know, a lot of products that are made electronically wise do come from China. But other than that, dude, the new Xbox Series X, it looks slick to me. I love it. I mean, if I had the money for it when it comes out, and if I could afford it, I'd get it. Like, I feel like we have another 10 years or so before everyone kind of like forgets about console and switches to like a Stadia thing or a PCs altogether. The whole console's not dead yet. But
yeah, I just say it's probably the best time right now, because I doubt after this they're going to move into something different anytime soon, unless it's just going to be another version of that. So I'd say right now it's the best time to like do the trade in the Switch, trade in the PS4s, trade in the Xbox Ones if you want to, because this is probably the best time, the most you're going to get out of that used console. And trust me, a lot of people go into thinking, oh, I'll just put it on Craigslist, I'll just put it on eBay, it's still got its box, it'll be fine. No, the most you're ever going to get out of a used console is putting it back into getting a new console. It's really, the math is all there. Especially considering the games that are coming in for this new stuff. I know there are a lot of people talking about how PlayStation 5 has a lot of games that are going to be super secretive and it's going to come out usually when the new PS5 comes out. But if it's so great, they would have told you about it. And I'm guessing if you're going to wait that long to see what's in the works for PS5, you're going to buy a PS5 either way. So just stop hating on the Xbox. The Xbox is like that because it's going to be the most in-between version of having a computer without paying the extra for the RAM, for the memory, for the CPU, for the graphics card, to have all that run on a really big, really nice monitor. It's going to be the in-between of having all the good things of PC, but in a console that, you could turn off for a week, turn back on, and it's like it's never even stopped. So I really think it's just really innovative, and just because it's big, I mean, for somebody who has a PC, it looks pretty damn sleek. I'd put it in the corner and forget about it, honestly. But I could do with a different placement for the CD. But I can see why they put it there. But honestly, we just got to see what PlayStation 5 is going to look like. All these concept arts aren't really doing too much for it. And also, a lot of people were left wanting with the new Switch and all of the things that were not on the Switch that were on the Wii U. So I see these next 2 to 3 years are kind of like a big bout match for, console king.
It's gonna be crazy. It's also crazy that Xbox is gonna come out before PlayStation does too. But I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I haven't heard much of about the new PlayStation. They didn't even say anything much about it at E3 or anything like that, or PAX and stuff like that. So the only one who's been talking is Xbox, and I'm just wondering if because you always know that on first wave of any new console, there's gonna be problems. So be careful if you are going to be one of the first ones to buy it. You always know that the second wave of it is always going to be the one to buy, because then they'll fix everything that's on that first wave. So be careful about that when it does come out. I don't know, but I'm stoked on it. And plus, like, it's simple, it's sleek, and that's kind of what you want from a console, so that it just sits next to your monitor or TV or wherever you play it, and it doesn't it doesn't take away from what you're trying to do with your decor or whatever, like it's just a simple little box that's gonna sit there and not cause too much attention to itself.
I think it's gonna be the perfect in the middle of the kind of like, what was that Steam box that came out that was super small? Didn't think it was going to be that strong, wasn't that fun, had a weird controller. And then you got these big box stuff that's like mostly even just PCs. Most of those bigger PCs just have a lot of empty space for fans and wires and to look cool. So I think it's just directly in the middle of performance, sleekness, not too big, but big enough to say, hey, that thing probably has some power in it. So I think they hit the marker on the head. Just got to really see what PlayStation comes up with. And I want to say that this was maybe a strategic move to see if Xbox was going to come out with the concept art or the actual physical art of the console before they released theirs. Maybe it was kind of like a game of chicken. Who knows? We just got to see, because I'll tell you right now, what I'm seeing from concept art with that weird little box with the U cut out of it with the blue lines, that's not going to do it for me. This isn't Blade Runner. This is not 1999. We're not doing that.
Because for one thing, for me, myself, and I'm not really hating, but I just felt like the PS3 and the PS4 was a bit bulky, looking. I don't know, but that's just my taste. Just give me a simple, box that I can stick somewhere.
Yeah, once you got to the PlayStation 3, I believe, or the PlayStation 4, which was the one with the clamshell and it looked kind of rounded, that was too much, man. It wouldn't go anywhere. It wouldn't look nice. You can't put anything on it. The vents were in the back, so the top was kind of useless. It didn't open, so I mean, it was just, I'm glad they only did one version of that, because I think they figured out that it was just...
It's crazy that their console is a little bit more powerful, though. That's the one thing that they have going for them, is that it has, to me, I feel like, better graphics. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, true. I see it kind of like the Apple of the things. You're going to have your dedicated Android, you're going to have your dedicated Apple, mostly because Apple has that proprietary consoles and components that work only for the Apple and make it kind of faster and more friendly. And, when you were a kid growing up with a PlayStation, it was something that was comforting. Well, with an Xbox, if you got an Xbox and you got treated to that weird menu green screen in the beginning and you didn't know what to do, you were kind of in over your head. And they were, using computer components. It was Microsoft. They were trying to do two things at once. They were more kind of given what the people want that they know that they want, but you know, Apple slash, Mac slash
Genetically modified
PlayStation.
apples.
No, PlayStation. Dude, they're PlayStation with the PlayStation, PSP, the PS Vita. They were really strong, but only because they used proprietary stuff. All the cables were all proprietary. They were AC adapters. They were super strong. They used the mini compact discs.
Too bad they never went anywhere, though.
No, that's because, even PCs tried it back in the day with those small proprietary, like tiny discs that would come everywhere, and it just would not work. It would keep falling into the box. It would.
Even though we're speaking consoles now, do not sleep on companies like Stadia, because I feel like, even though to me myself, I not really interested in it now, and I feel like the price point on it is a little bit too high, but I feel like once it is like fully released and peoples are using it and they find out a way to redefine it and maybe bring down the price point a little bit and stuff like that, I feel like that's the new wave. That might be the next gen gaming level, like that. What people thought Steam was gonna do, I feel like Stadia might take the ball and run with it. We just don't know it yet. Like, we have to wait and see. But I do feel like consoles are gonna have troubles within the next 10 years. It's because you gotta levitate the competition and stuff like that. So, like, I don't know. Like, I just see it coming.
Here's the problem they're going to see. It's because they're opening up the whole media field for, everybody to play in. Once Stadia comes up, it's going to be sitting back waiting for the consoles to make the wrong move, and it's going to come up and take over, essentially, because it's going to be essentially, once again, the proprietary thing that everybody needs, because it's the best and the easiest way to do this. Right now, if you have the money, it's the best time to get into it if you really want to see what it's going to be like. But I say give it some time, and it's going to really be a big thing. But the main issue of it is it's going to make all the companies, PlayStation, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, it's going to drop off the one thing that has been kind of their bread and butter ever since the beginning, which is making the average for video games super damn high. There's no reason why a disc should still be $60 to almost $100.
Mm-hmm.
But with Stadia coming in, it's going to take out all of the manufacturing. It's going to take out all the boxes. It's going to take out all the game front stores. So then where's the charges going to be?
Yep, exactly.
It's not going to be there. You're going to go down to $20 games, $15 games, $30 games, and it's going to destroy essentially what their bread and butter is selling discs, selling the compact discs with all those figures and maps and all that stuff, those big boxes for PC games that people don't even play anymore. World of Warcraft. You need to stop selling that crap, because nobody's going to go to the store and get this giant-ass box for this little tiny code and a bunch of flyers that say download our other stuff that you didn't have to buy a box for.
It is true.
They're coming for you, and they're coming strong.
And I think that's like they need to take note of, like, well, I'm pretty sure they're not listening to us, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of how they need to advertise it, is like, stop spending money on things that are just gonna take space in your living area. Just get this, and then you could still game without having a console to take space, to having to buy a disc or box that takes space. Like, it's kind of like the new wave.
We're essentially having that boomer moment. People are like, no, I don't want it because it's not physical. But then again, you're really just being more safe than sorry, because you're never going to use that physical disc. Are you really going to keep it for years thinking, oh, if you really need it, you can play it without having to log in, when, down the road, it's just going to be another $10-$20. You can just, go buy it online. If you lose your code or lose your account, it's not going to be worth it. But we're all being sticklers about physical media. It is what it is. It's going to happen. We're going to have to deal with it somehow. But you can still keep your physical media, but just realize, what are people doing nowadays with their VHSs and their DVDs? It's just styling. It's just like stacking up and crap and getting sold for giant amounts of like
Yep.
box stuffers because there's nothing you can do. You go to a store, you see DVDs that are like $5 in bins because they can't get rid of them fast enough. It's going to be the same thing with games. You're going to be looking at yourself 10 years from now going, why do I have Skate 2 on Xbox 360 on like the disc? I'm not going to use that. I could just go download it on the newer system. So I say just embrace it, but don't start spending all your money on it right now because Stadia might not even be the next big thing. It might.
Well, that's the thing.
To the next company that wants to be there.
That's the thing, though. Like, it might not be Stadia, but I feel like it's going to be a company like Stadia that's going to be the next wave. I don't know, because just looking at the price point of Stadia, I'm just like, ooh, gross.
No, that's because they need people to warrant how much they're paying everybody to get this done. But it's just not there yet. Wait till there's an abundance of it, and then it's going to be the everyday thing.
But because I feel like, I don't know, there's so many ways that they could come into play, but that is true. But yeah, there you guys go. Consoles, Apples, Pokemon. I don't know whatever else we even talked about. But
people not knowing how to set up tiny chat rooms.
Well, no one saw that, but okay, bring it up.
Well, they're gonna ask. Like, there's a reason why we skipped.
Yeah, but that's why I said technical difficulties.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. Now that we figured it out, it's not really an issue anymore because I doubt it's going to happen anymore. Yeah. They can ban MFs.
But yes, with that said, that's going to bring us to the end of this episode. Remember, guys, next week, a little bit of a tiny bit of a giveaway. And it's first come, first served. So whoever sees it first, whoever writes it down or uses it first is going to be the one who gets it. So
it's going to be the guy
look forward
who
to
has
that.
to watch the video.
And Star Wars coming up, Christmas coming up. It's going to be a good times. And with that said, we are still at, I think, 53 subscribers. So tell your friends, please, subscribe, listen, pass it along. And with that, we will see everybody on the next episode.
I got to get to my